welcome back to Stylish Naija YouTube channel. I want to say thank you to all of my subscribers. I really appreciate you guys a whole lot for subscribing to my YouTube channel. I appreciate the love, the support that I've gotten from you all. Actually, don't take it for granted. I don't take it for granted. I celebrate all of my subscribers. Thumbs up for you guys. Okay, today I'm going to be showing you how to actually cut this trendy peplum. So you could see the picture up there. It is a trendy peplum. This peplum, actually, I used to really cut it then. Most times I used to use it when I was doing double, that if I'm going to do a double peplum. So I normally used to sew it. So today it's very simple and easy. So today I'm going to show you how to actually cut and sew. Okay, we're just going to be cutting it. I'm not going to show you how to sew it. That's just the truth. Okay, so the top part, that's the top part that looks like a flounce. I'm just going to give you an idea how to do that. I actually used a little bit of this to illustrate it earlier. So I'm just going to show you how to achieve it. We'll use a fabric, really. Okay, so let's just get started. If you want to register for my online classes, you could see my number scrolling through the screen. Just send me a message on WhatsApp, and then you can also follow me on all of my social media platforms: Facebook, Stylish Naija, Instagram, Pinterest, all of them at Stylish Naija. Okay, you can send your pictures to Stylish Naija Sewing Group or Instagram Stylish Naija. Okay, so let's just get started. Okay, so this is the amount of fabric that I'm going to use. So normally in cutting of our peplum, so I'll fold my fabric into 4 like this. And then I'm going to show you the measurement that I'm going to be using. So for the measurement, normally the waist of my peplum. Okay, so the waist of the peplum, which is the radius, I'm using 30 inches. But if you notice, you see that the peplum is on top of each other. That is, it's like a little bit lapping on top. So for that, you can determine how many inches you want your peplum to lap in front. So for this, mine, I'm going to add 2 inches to it. So at the end of the day, I'm going to have 32 inches. This 32 inches include my zipper allowance and everything. So that's the measurement. So what I'm going to do now, the fabric is folded into 4. We're going to cut out our radius now. So I'm going to use 5 inches down this line first, just to get our curve, so we know where we're cutting out. So for 32, we actually need 8 inches. So I'm just going to measure to see. So you see, I have about 8 inches. So it's a little bit big. I have about 8.5. No, it's not up to 8.5. 8 and a quarter. So I'm just going to leave it that way. So it's marked here. The next thing you are going to do now, you are going to measure the length of the peplum, and the length that you are going to use for this kind of peplum. I would advise you either use your lining to cut it first, or you use your pattern paper, because if you use the actual fabric, you are going to waste it. So you either use your pattern paper or you use a lining to cut it, and then before you transfer to your main fabric. So that's what I would advise. But if it is not big like this, you could use your fabric if you wish to cut it out. So the next thing I'm going to do now, the length of the peplum, that's the short length of the peplum, is 8 inches. So you see, this is 8 inches. Now from this point, now we're going to mark our 8 inches, which is our normal regular length of the peplum. So you can add half of an inch to it for stitching. So you see, I've measured out my peplum. You could see this is a regular peplum. So that extension, that's the part that is protruding down. That's this part like this now, that is protruding down. So that's what we're going to include now to our peplum. So what you are going to do, you are going to determine, depends on how long you want it to be. So for mine, I'm going to use about 2 inches. So here's what I'm going to do now. So on this part now, I'm going to add these 2 inches on this side. Okay, let me just let's make use of 2.5. Because when it comes to sewing, you can think out something and then you do something else. So you just think it out and then you work with it. So I'm just going to mark this part like this. So I added 2.5 on that part like this. So you see my 2.5. So once I, what I'm going to do now, that 2.5, what I'm going to do, I'm going to blend it into this part. You could, another way you can do this, you can either blend it into this part, or you just add, that's, you make the whole peplum, just make it into the same amount, that's this same measurement. So that's 11.5. You could use the 11.5 in case you don't want, because you don't want to waste, this will actually waste the fabric though. So you see, this is the short length, while this is the longer length. So now we're going to cut, the first thing we're going to do, we'll cut out the longer length. So after cutting out the longer length of our peplum, so we'll cut this top part out also. So I've cut it out. So what I'm going to do now, I'm going to notch the which part I want to be my center. So this part, I'm going to notch this part like this. Just pick a part, you know it's four, just pick one part like this. So I'll open this up now like this. So when you open it up like this, what we are going to do now, I'm going to open this side. So this side is going to be the center of the peplum. So you open it along this line like this. Okay, so now I've opened up this part. Okay, so I've opened up this part. You remember the original length of our peplum is actually 8 inches, which is this. So what we are going to do now, we're just going to continue. You know, we use 8.5. We're just going to continue like this, and then you make sure you measure out the original length of the peplum. Just mark it round. So you see, we've marked it round back. So what we're going to do now, we're going to take this piece, this top piece now, and then we're going to cut it to this side. So now we're going to cut. So you remember that part that I asked you to notch? That's this center part. So you make sure that's the middle part. Just make sure that the notch is there. So I'm going to tell you why we're notching it. So we're going to start cutting from this edge now. So once you get to this center, like this, you are going to stop. I'm just cutting out this excess. This is the one that I've cut out already. So we're going to stop like this. And then this one, this piece, you are going to take it like this. You are going to trim, just complete this one. You take out the whole piece, that's the excess, because that protruding is just on one side. So you cut this out like this. So you see you have cut it out. So the next thing, this part like this, what we are going to do now with this remaining part, I'm just going to blend this part like this. Just blend it in like this. So I hope you can see that. You're just going to blend. So this is the half, this is the back, this is the center back. So that is why that notch was necessary here. So you just blend it in like this. You don't need to cut it out, because if you cut it out, this part will be a little bit short. So you just blend it in like this. So you see it is blended in now. So this is what we have. So you make sure that your center part, that's the center of the back, that's the waist. So I think the best thing, you should not just notch the four edges. It will actually make it easier. And then you take this other piece like this, it will come on top of it like this to give you your accurate waist measurement. So the next thing you are going to do, this part, that's this short part that we used 8 inches, you are going to reduce, you're still going to further blend out this part. That's, you're going to trim it a little bit more, but you can actually decide to leave it like this. So after cutting, you open it up. So at the end of the day, this is how your peplum will look like. So you remember that extra 2 inches that we added to this part. So you're going to notch the part. So it depends on how many inches you added. That's how much lap you want your peplum to lap. So you notch, make sure you notch that part. So that's the part you are going to take, and then you are going to bring it to this part. You know, this is the center front now. You're going to bring it like this. So note that this peplum, like I told you, the zipper allowance is included here. So you make sure you work with the front before opening the back piece. I think I would advise on that. So you take this part like this and then bring it here like this, and then you could just use a pin or something you could tack it, or you use a pin to hold it down. And then this front part, for this center front, you can decide to reduce a little bit. So for mine, if I want to reduce it like this, what I'm going to do, I'm just going to reduce it a little bit with about 2 inches. So that 2 inches, here's what I'm going to do. I'm just going to blend it into this part. Just blend it in. And then you just trim it off. So at the end of the day, here's how it's going to look like. Okay, so for the flounce, initially I said I was going to cut it with a fabric, but this fabric is a little bit soft, so I want you to really get the effect of it. So I'm going to make use of a pattern paper. If you notice the flounce on top is the same size with the peplum, so that is why I'm making use of this peplum to cut. It's just like a recreation of it. But the only thing that is different is that the peplum, that's the radius of the peplum, is a little bit longer. So for mine, I'm going to use about 25 inches. So I'm just going to mark rounds like this to get my 25 inches. So this is like my 25 inches. So that's where I'm going to stop my cutting. It is very simple. So what I'm going to do, I'm just recreating this piece. So I'll cut like this. So once I get to this point, that's where I'm going to stop. I'm just going to make a mark here, and then I'll slant it down straight like this. So this is going to be I'm going to show you how to fold it now to achieve it. So you see how it is looking. So in the folding, so when you cut this piece out, you are going to sew it, you are going to turn it, you are going to iron in your hairstay, your gum stay, to make it strong and stiff. But if you are making, for instance, if you are making the one that is a little bit smaller, you can decide to make use of crinoline. It will still work perfectly well. So I'm going to show you how to fold it now. So after sewing and turning, you're just going to take it like this. So I'm trying to, okay, yeah, this is how it's going to be. So you turn it like this. So you fold it once like this. So this part, when you are pinning, you pin it on your mannequin. When you want to do it, it's always better for you to pin on your mannequin. Depends on how big you want it to be. So you could fold like this one, and then bring this back like this, and then bring this like this. So I'm going to show you how to fold this now. So after cutting it out, it should look like this. So the first thing you are going to do, you are going to turn it like this, and then you just fold. So you could just pick a point, depends on how big you want it to be. You just pick a point and then you fold in like this, and then you bring this other one in like this also. So you just make sure you bring this one in also, and then you take this. So I have like 3 layers now. So if you feel that the 3 layers is enough, you can actually trim this off. So that is why I advise you to use a pattern paper to try this out. Make sure you get all of your cuttings on pattern paper before you transfer to your fabric, or else you are going to waste the fabric. And then you fold. So it depends on how much fold you want to add. So at the end of the day, so you see how it is looking. So this part, you are going to fix this part on, this part is going to be fixed. So let me see so you can see it properly. It's actually going to be fixed on the dress. That's the top part of your bodice. You fix it on the top part, and then, so I'll place it on the mannequin to make sure it will be easier. Okay, so at the end of the day, you open on your zipper allowance part. So this is the zipper allowance part. You open up. So it's going to look like this now, because we have opened it up now. And then this is the center front, this part and this part. So this part, you could actually slant it more. You could just decide to just give it a more defined, sharp, so that part is a little bit sharper. So that's the center front. So you take this like this. You know this one is going to come into this point with about 2 inches. So you take that 2 inches point like this, and then you pin like this. And then so here you go. This, you have your peplum now. So this is your peplum. So this is how the front part of your peplum is going to look like. And then your zipper allowance is going to stay on this part. The truth is, this fabric is not doing me good on this. It's too soft. The fabric is too soft. So normally, you are supposed to sew it and then you turn it, and then to get that standing effect. Even as I was trying to pin it on my mannequin, it's not showing well. So that's how it will look like. So you have your zipper allowance here. So when you fix it like this, so I'm just trying to, it's really too soft, really. And then, okay, like I was saying, so when you fix this part, this is going to be on the center front, and then this part you are going to fix on your dress. That's the top part of your body. So you fix it and then you attach it. So this is the center, this is the back where our zipper allowance will be. So I've opened it up like this. So I'm going to turn it now. So this is the center front. So this is the center front. So for this part, you could actually decide to trim it. That's just straighten it a little bit to give it a very defined slanting effect. To give it a more sharp edge. So this is now the center front. So this is the other part of our center front. So you know that this part is going to be lapping with about 2 inches. So what you are going to do, that 2 inches, you are going to bring that 2 inches to this part like this, and then you would pin it down. This is after sewing and turning and coupling everything, and then you pin it down, and then use your machine, just give it like a top stitch on this part. So after giving it a top stitch, here is how the peplum is going to look like. So you see, this is now going to be our zipper allowance part. So it's going to stay like this. I'm just trying as much as I can to make you, so you see it and understand it. It is not a difficult thing. So here is it. Let me make sure that my camera captures everything. Okay, so I think we got it. So at the end of the day, so here is how it is going to look like. You fix your zipper here. So you just fix your peplum, the normal, regular way you fix your peplum, and then where you are done. So for this front part, that's this part. So this part you fix on top of your bodice. Okay, so for this part, you fix it on top of your body. That's after you fix it on top like this. So this part also, you can also give it that defined shape. You can still give it that defined shape like this, and then at the end of the day, it's going to stay like this, while your peplum is going to stay like this. So you see how easy it is to actually achieve this. So I could not pin it on my mannequin, seriously. So at the end of the day, this is how you do this trendy peplum flounce. I don't know what it is called, so you could call it anything. If you know what it is called, please drop it on the description, on the comment section for me to know. So thank you so much. If you find this video helpful, please hit on the like button, and then you could drop a comment for me for any questions. So thank you so much. I'll see you in my next video. God bless you all. Ciao.